What if I told you that one of the Vancouver Canucks' star players has finally turned the corner after a tough start to the season? Elias Pettersson, feeling the weight of expectations, made a bold promise to fans to finish strong and chase down a playoff spot. And guess what? In the last 2 games, he started to deliver. His recent performance has fans buzzing, and with the Canucks climbing the standings, you won't want to miss what's next for this talented forward. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a like to stay in the loop with all things Canucks. Elias Pettersson has made a strong declaration after what many are calling a lackluster trade deadline for the Vancouver Canucks. The 2024-25 season has been challenging for the talented forward, but as the games progress, he's starting to show signs that he's ready to turn things around. Just this week, Pettersson candidly acknowledged his struggles thus far and vowed to finish the season strong. He's even hinted at the possibility of leading the team into the playoffs, and you can feel the excitement building. In the 2 games following his comments, Pettersson has stepped up his game significantly, which could be a crucial development for the Canucks as they head into the final stretch of the season. On Wednesday night, the Canucks hosted the Anaheim Ducks at Rogers Park Arena, marking their first home game in nearly a month. The team secured a hard-fought 3-2 victory, and Pettersson made headlines by becoming the 10th player this season to win 20 faceoffs in a single game. Joining the ranks of elite players like Sidney Crosby and Anze Kopitar, Pettersson joked with reporters, suggesting they write a story about it. You can feel the confidence radiating from him. Fast forward to last night's matchup against the Minnesota Wild, and here's where it gets really exciting. After a disheartening 15-game goal drought, Pettersson scored a beauty on the power play right at the end of the first period. He finished the night with 1 goal, 3 shots, and a whopping 6 shot attempts, the most he's had in a single game since December 16th. This is the kind of performance we've been waiting for, and it feels like he's slowly but surely finding his stride again. After the game, Pettersson spoke about his commitment to improving every day. He emphasized that today was a good day for him personally and for the team. It's refreshing to hear such determination, especially with a crucial matchup against the Dallas Stars coming up on Sunday. The Canucks are currently in a tight race for the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and every game counts. With this victory over Minnesota, the Canucks have now pulled ahead of the Flames, and there's an undeniable sense of hope in the air. Fans are looking to the Montreal Canadiens to do them a favor against Calgary tonight, and you can feel the anticipation building among the Canucks faithful. So, was this the right move for Pettersson to step up now? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, it's fantastic to see him taking responsibility and acknowledging his performance. But on the other hand, the pressure is mounting, and there's a lot of expectation from fans and the organization. It's a fine line to walk, but if he can maintain this momentum, it could be exactly what the Canucks need to secure a playoff spot. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Pettersson's recent performance? Are you feeling hopeful about the Canucks' playoff chances? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights matter, and this community thrives on our shared passion for the team. The trade deadline has come and gone for the Vancouver Canucks, and as a passionate fan, I can't help but feel a mix of emotions about the decisions made, or rather, the lack of significant moves. The big headline for the Canucks was the trade of Carson Soucy to the New York Rangers for a 3rd-round pick. Now, let's unpack this. Many of us were bracing ourselves for a flurry of activity, especially with the team signaling they were open to trades. Soucy's name had been floating around for a while, and it seemed inevitable that he would be moved. The fact that he waived his no-trade clause to facilitate this move shows he was ready for a fresh start. But here's the thing. Was a 3rd-round pick really the best we could do? Looking at the reactions from fellow fans on social media, there's a consensus that this was a decent return, considering Soucy's role on the team. One fan noted that while some were hoping for a 1st-round pick, the reality is that Soucy was not a top-4 defenseman. Others pointed out the benefit of freeing up cap space for the upcoming offseason, highlighting that this move opens the door for young talents like Elias Pettersson and Jonathan Willander. Yet, despite the mixed feelings about the trade, the real disappointment came from the lack of further action. Patrick Alvin, our general manager, spoke to reporters and mentioned there wasn't much interest in our players. Really? In a market where teams are making bold moves, it feels like the Canucks are being left behind. I can't help but think of the opportunities we missed out on, especially when you consider the value other teams were getting for their players. Fans were quick to voice their frustrations. Some pointed out that if the Canucks had moved someone, like Brock Boeser, the fan base would have been upset about the return, and now that he's still on the roster, they're upset about that too. It's a classic case of catch-22. The truth is, if we had traded Boeser, we might have been able to acquire something substantial, but now it feels like we're stuck with a player whose future is uncertain. There were whispers in the comments about the management's strategy, or lack thereof. Some fans are worried that Alvin might have overestimated the market for our players, while others think the management is simply too conservative. Is it possible that they're holding on to players in hopes of making a last-minute playoff push? Because if that's the case, that's a risky game to play. One fan hit the nail on the head when they pointed out that in a seller's market, it's concerning that we couldn't find a deal for anyone on our roster. It raises serious questions about how other GMs perceive our talent. Are we overvaluing our players? Are we in a position where we're stuck because we can't admit that we might need to rebuild? As I reflect on all of this, I find myself torn. I can appreciate the rationale behind not making rash decisions just to make a trade. But at the same time, I can't shake the feeling that we missed a chance to improve our roster. Each day that passes without a significant move feels like we're standing still while other teams are gearing up for the playoffs. And you? What do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Was trading Susie the right call? Should we have been more aggressive at the deadline? What do you think about Boeser still being here? This is a pivotal moment for our franchise, and your voice matters. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay updated on all things Canucks, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Let's keep the conversation going, Canucks Nation!